Okay, here we go. We're going live. Yay, I'm live. I'm alive. Good morning. Good morning. It's day 22. It's day 22 on the 64 days of peace and nonviolence. This is a program from agnt.org. I'm promoting it. I think it's a great program. So the thought for today is mission. So, anyways, it's really cool because we talk a lot in my other broadcasts about our soul's purpose, right? We talk about like why we're here on earth. So, the thought for today is mission. So, MK Gandhi said, "My life is my message." Gandhi's mission was to be non-violent. So, the question gets turned on you now. What do you stand for in your life? What is your life's mission? So it's a good question. If you haven't thought about it, a lot of people do kind of know if they're on their purpose or path. But if you haven't, here's the practice that you're invited to do. I will write down what I stand for in my life. I will write down what I stand for in my life. I will note at least one way I can show through action that I stand for my beliefs. So, anyways, it goes a little deeper too. If you're interested, this is on allnaturalme.com. This is a program from AGNT. They suggest I will develop a personal mission statement and draw a picture of myself living my mission. So I think it's good. Identify your beliefs, what you stand for, what's your purpose, what like you really feel alive about, and then visualize yourself living your mission. And then once you figure that out, then share your mission with other people, right? Pick 3 people to tell, hey, I'm living my life purpose. All right, here's a great quote, you guys. I love this quote so very, very much. I think it's hilarious and true. It's from Richard Bach. Richard Bach said, oh my goodness, well, I'm glad you're here. Good morning. Richard Bach said, listen to this quote. Here is the test to find whether your mission on earth is finished. Here's the test to find out whether your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, it isn't. So, has my mission been fulfilled here on earth? Well, let me check. Am I alive? Yep, I'm alive. So, nope, I'm still here on a mission. I'm still here with purpose. So, today, ask yourself, why am I here? And what am I here to do? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? How do I make a difference? You do make a difference, but how? How do you make a difference? Today, I consider that the answers to these questions are woven into the fabric of my nature, my values, and my beliefs. And what I am willing to take a stand for. So you guys, day 22, we're a third of the way through the 64 days. High five to everybody. Day 22, the thought for today is mission. So what is your mission, right? What's your mission? Do you hear me? Do you hear these questions? All right, so really reflect on that today. Let's go deeper with Gandhi here. My son loved this next comment. It took me by surprise, but like the more that I thought about this comment, it does have good wisdom in it, but you gotta listen for it. So MK Gandhi said, if I had no sense of humor, I would long ago have committed suicide. I know, what's so funny about that? But right, it was like, oh, right, we like hear that word, we're like, oh, if I had no sense of humor, I would long ago have committed suicide. So there is wisdom in this quote, right? Like we must approach life with a sense of humor, We must. We must, right? It is what literally keeps us afloat through this ridiculous life, right? If you can laugh, you're like a step ahead of the game. So there is an old saying, of course, God has a sense of humor. It created us. Have you ever heard? Have you ever heard somebody say that? Like, yeah, God definitely has a sense of humor today. Wow, right? Like, of course, God has a sense of humor. It created us humans. Humans are a sadly comical race. We behave violently like children when we most need to act like adults. We act like serious, pompous adults when we most need to act like children and laugh at our silliness, right? There are times in your life when you could grow up, and there are times in your life that you could be a little bit lighthearted and have some fun, or at least a sense of humor, right? All right. So after I got into this, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this sort of resonates, doesn't it? Sometimes we become so serious that we forget to see the humor in everything around us, especially our own behavior, right? Especially our own behavior. Seeing the humor and like, oh my God, I just did that. We only become serious when we become attached to the outcome of our work. Think about that. We only become serious when we have become attached to the outcome of our work. Attachment to outcome is a guarantee of suicidal tendencies because we can never control or predict all the outcomes of any actions dealing with human beings. All we can say for sure is that actions have consequences, including unintended ones. Under the circumstances, we have only two choices. One, take everything seriously and personally, forgetting that the divine is always present. Or our second choice is take nothing seriously and personally, remembering that the divine is always present, working perfectly through all experiences, all people, and all relationships. So you got two choices. Do you want to take everything personal? Do you want to take everything personal and serious and forget about the divine? Or do you want to lighten up? Do you want to don't get offended? Don't take it personal. Don't take it serious, okay? And trust and remember that the divine is always working perfectly through all your experiences, all your relationships, all the people, right? So when we approach each and every situation with no expectations, zero expectations, except the one expectation that there is an infinite presence and a universal law operating through all. Okay, when we approach everything with that kind of attitude or belief, attachments fall away. Our attachments just fall away. And we see the quirky and often sad humor of human existence. So, can you laugh? Can you laugh at your life? Can you have a sense of humor about human behavior? Can we let go of our attachments? So, that's what we're talking about today, going deeper with Gandhi. Humans so often act as if the world will obey only if they use enough power, enough violence, and then, right? Okay, so look at people like trying to force their way, right? Trying to force things to happen, trying to use violence to get their message across. Then what happens in return? Through the law of cause and effect, they become victims then. Because if you put out violence, guess what comes back at you? It's cause and effect. So they try to use power, they try to use violence, and then they turn into victims when the world acts through the perfect cause and effect. See how that kind of works? So anyways, good morning, everyone. So until we come to recognize this truth, okay, until we come to start understanding how the laws of the universe work, understanding is like what we put out, that's what we get back. Until we recognize this, we're still going to have frustration, anger, disappointment, and feelings of failure, right? That stuff is still going to haunt us. When we come to this realization, we can laugh at ourselves instead of having others laugh at us, right? So anyways, good morning, everyone. The thought for today is mission, right? So think about what your mission is. And once you identify it, Gandhi wants us to just kind of think, well, how can we infuse a sense of humor into it as well, right? Letting go of attachments. So kind of wrapping it up here, you guys, affirmative practice today. In every interaction I have, I will look for the humor, right? Right, Skull Reaper? You give me lots of practice. In every interaction I have, I will look for the humor that lies beneath the apparent drama, not laughing at others, but at my own expectations that anyone will do it my way. Okay, think about what I just read there, you guys. When we think like, oh my God, like Sadie, you were so silly to think that anyone was going to show up and do it your way, right? That is literally something that I can laugh at. If I think like, oh, I was going to throw this dinner, right? And everyone was going to have like a great conversation and get along, and you have like these expectations that people are going to do it your way. Okay, anytime I do that, have those expectations, I'm going to look for the humor that lies beneath having that expectation, and just if it did get to a little bit of drama, just laugh at the fact that I thought I could control everything. So it is really good advice. At first I was a little concerned when Gandhi said his quote, "If I had no sense of humor, I would have long ago have committed suicide." At first I was like, uh-oh, where are we going today? This seems a little too much. Good morning, everyone. And then now it's like, you know what? That sense of humor is the kind of like life jacket for everyone in this incarnation, right? And I definitely have had a sense of humor, definitely my whole life. Right? You have to. So this is the path of nonviolence. Okay, so let peace begin with me, and let peace begin with you as well. All right. So in everything that you say, everything that you do, everything that you interact with today, try to come from a loving place in your heart, and definitely have a sense of humor while you're on your mission on this earth. And remember what Richard Bach said: here is the test to find whether your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, it isn't. So if you are here, right now, you still have work to do. All right? All the light workers, all the earthlings, like everybody, you still have work to do if you're here. Yes, you definitely have a sense of humor. I am love. I am light. Absolutely. You guys, thank you so much. Dawn, Skull Reaper, K-Boss, Craig, thank you so very much for joining me this morning. People on Periscope, Twitter, thank you. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Here's one more affirmation to end on. And like I said, this is a program from agnt.org. That's what I'm reading. It's on All Natural Me. If you want to visit me there, think about it, dive a little deeper, comment. Today, I will turn off anything that portrays or supports violence, whether on television, in the movies, or on the internet. Think about what power you could have in your life and in the world if you just started turning off the violence, if you just started walking away from things that had that violent energy, okay? On the TV, on the radio, on the news, on the internet. You just don't feed into it anymore. So today I will turn off and walk away from anything that portrays or supports violence. And today, finally, in Pennsylvania, the sun is shining. So we can turn it all off and go outside and get your sun, right? I'm thankful for it. So anyways, you guys, thanks again. I will be back tomorrow morning with day 23. At some point soon, we'll do a live hangout where we will just chit chat about whatever. And I'll pull some oracle cards and it'll be great. Probably not today though, because I'm still working on the flooded basement. Talk about having to have a sense of humor. I went down the other day and found my rabbits in their cages floating all over the basement like little sailors. You guys, like life is funny. Okay, I could have either cried in that moment or laughed, right? And I did take a video. So maybe someday I'll share it once I'm over it. All right, you guys, thanks so much. You guys, Twitter, have a great day. Love you. Thank you. YouTube, have a really great day. I love you. Thank you so much. It's funny.